SVA is a really fascinating institution with an unusual and sort of quirky history.
You're looking at one very unusual homework assignment.
The growth of SVA kind of mirrors the growth of the art world in New York City.
I consider Milton Glaser a seminal figure. He helped blur the boundaries between fine art and art for commerce.
Around 2003, there was no archive of any kind at SVA, and Milton Glaser decided he wanted to donate his work to the school. And so, with the support of Silas Rhodes, this whole project got off the ground. The Archives is composed of two parts. There's the Milton Glaser Design Study Center and Archives, and the SVA Archives. The Glaser Archives is devoted to the history of illustration and design by these designers and illustrators who have a relationship with SVA. The SVA Archive started a couple years later. There was this very rich history of this college that was not being made accessible and preserved for posterity. So the SVA Archives is dedicated to preserving and making accessible the history of the college.
The archive is the place where we preserve what happened. We can't know who we are without it.
We've got a lot of stuff to move.
Working in the archives is not as glamorous as you would think. You know, a lot of paper cuts, a lot of dirty paper, some mold.
It's hard to say no to things.
Being an archivist in this institution, it's just an incredible view of the New York City art world seen through just like a million different viewpoints.
So all this stuff here is Milton, Henry Wolfe. These are mostly photographs. This is an early one from Cherney. This is 59, so Bern Hogarth co-founded the school with Silas Rhodes, famous mostly for being the cartoonist of Tarzan.
All kinds of wonderful people who were then mover shakers and now are kind of legendary. This school has always had a faculty like that. And we need to keep track of it because it's the influence that carries forth from one generation to the next.
I was best friends with Milton Glaser, and I was part of Pushbin Studios. So that was part of, in a way, my relationship with SVA. I started teaching here when I was 32 years old. Milton, he wanted to start the archive and give it as much density as he could. So he asked me to give my work to the archives.
In terms of becoming a part of the archives, in some cases we will approach a designer or illustrator who is significant, who has some relationship with the college, and ask if they'd be interested in donating to our collection. And in some cases, those people will come to us.
Everything I gave to the archive, I believed in, that it was a legitimate thing to look at. It was worth someone's time to pay attention to it.
I love his work. I love Jim McMullen, and so when I contacted Beth, she offered to contact him and to find out if he would come and meet with my illustration MFA class, and we did, and I've done that now several years in a row. Looking at pieces and holding them up and being able to see the details, and there are a lot of times within a lot of the originals you can almost see the process, you can kind of almost dissect it, and then you can ask questions about how it evolved.
The one thing that I embrace in my work is risk. I always want to be in the most here and now state of mind. And to feel that, you've got to accept the fact that you're going to make mistakes. And the mistakes themselves may be full of energy, but the mistakes are what make it interesting, I think that the students who look at my work in the archive, I think that's what they get from it.
I'm accustomed to telling students, I don't believe that one photograph of something means very much, but 1,000 photographs of something by 1,000 different people means a hell of a lot.
Right after September 11th, Charles Traub, along with a few collaborators, started amassing a collection of photographs.
Pictures were put up here almost immediately by students in our department. And Michael Schulin, a former faculty member, actually put one up in his little storefront on Prince Street. People started looking, and he called a meeting, said, what can we do? And within 2 weeks, we were up and running in this little storefront.
they realized that there was just this like wellspring of work that was helping people cope with what had happened in what was probably, one of the earliest examples of a, kind of a crowdsourced exhibition.
That show went to 49 places around the world, and it stayed in operation for 2 years. At the time, it was probably the most seen exhibition in the world, and it was a remarkable community collective event.
I think that history is worth preserving, it's worth understanding. I would say not all work is worth saving, and I think that's part of an archivist's job, is to determine what is possible to save. Keep the history, document the activities, and make sure it's available to people in the future so they can understand what was going on now. They can understand how this place came to be, how it grew, how it developed, how it changed. The archive is only as good as the things that we have in it.
I think a lot of responsibility lies with each department, figuring out what needs to be there, why it needs to be there, and how it should be there, and then getting it.
I hope they keep collecting and inspiring future generations by having it here. It's just nice to have the physical originals to sort of keep that history and that aspect of, all the different artists that have come through here.
There's a lot of information that you can glean from the original that you wouldn't get in a reproduction. And you can actually literally feel where it's raised and cut. You can tell that it's actually collaged in place.
I think it's just really important to have access to that, to know that it's here, that you can always research it and actually see what posters looked like, how they were printed, even before, everything became digital.
If you want your work to be available to researchers and to students, why wouldn't you contribute to the archive? And particularly if you've been a student and had access to the archive, why wouldn't you want to be part of that history?